It started like any other Thursday evening. The sun was setting, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple as I drove home from work. I had stopped by the grocery store earlier to pick up ingredients for her favorite meal, a slow-roasted chicken with garlic mashed potatoes and asparagus. Cooking was something I had always enjoyed, and it gave me a chance to show her how much I cared. But that night, my intentions were very different. I should start from the beginning. Her name was Emily. We'd been married for 8 years, and I thought we were happy. Sure, life had its challenges, jobs, bills, the usual stressors, but I had always believed in us. That belief shattered 6 weeks ago when I found her phone unlocked on the kitchen counter. She had gone upstairs to grab something, and the screen lit up with a message from Jay. Curiosity got the better of me, and I read it. It wasn't innocent. Can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing. My stomach dropped. I scrolled through the conversation, my hands trembling. Explicit messages, photos, plans made in secret. Jay wasn't just a name. Jay was a man she had been seeing for months. I felt the floor give way beneath me. Anger, sadness, humiliation. I cycled through them all. But above everything else, I felt resolved. I wasn't going to confront her then and there. No, I needed time to think, to plan. If she was capable of this level of betrayal, I wasn't going to let her get away with it. I would make her feel the weight of her choices. So for weeks, I acted normal, better than normal. I became the perfect husband. Flowers just because, thoughtful texts during the day, extra effort in the bedroom. If she felt guilty, she didn't show it. She responded with gratitude, even affection. But the messages to Jay never stopped. If anything, they became more brazen. That Thursday, everything came to a head. I had spent days preparing. The meal was only part of it. The real centerpiece of the evening was in the envelope sitting on the dining table. When I got home, Emily was already there, lounging on the couch in yoga pants and an oversized sweater. She looked up and smiled. "Hey, babe, what's for dinner?" "Something special," I replied with a smile that didn't quite reach my eyes. I set to work in the kitchen, the aroma of roasted garlic and herbs filling the air. She wandered in and leaned against the counter, watching me. "You've been so sweet lately. What's the occasion?" "Just wanted to show you how much I appreciate you," I said, not missing a beat. The table was set, candles, cloth napkins, the works. She seemed genuinely touched as she sat down and took her first bite. "This is amazing, Jake. You really outdid yourself." "I'm glad you think so," I said, pouring her a glass of wine. "There's something I want to show you after dinner." Her brow furrowed slightly, but she nodded. "Okay." We finished the meal in relative silence. She complimented the food several times, but I could tell she sensed something was off. When the plates were cleared, I gestured for her to follow me into the living room. The envelope was on the coffee table. I handed it to her without a word. "What's this?" she asked, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "Open it." Her hand trembled slightly as she slid the papers out. The color drained from her face as she read the first page. It was a detailed report from the private investigator I had hired. Dates, times, photos. Her and Jay at a hotel, her and Jay at a restaurant, her and Jay in his car, kissing passionately. "Jake, I can explain," she said, her voice cracking. "Don't," I interrupted, my voice calm but firm. "I don't want your excuses. I've known for weeks, Emily." "Weeks?" She stared at me, her eyes wide and glassy. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It's not what you think." "It's exactly what I think," I said, cutting her off again. "You made a choice. Over and over again, you chose him. You lied to me. You betrayed me. Do you have any idea what that feels like?" Tears streamed down her face. "Jake, please, I'm so sorry. I love you." I laughed, a bitter sound that filled the room. "Love me? You have a funny way of showing it." She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "I've spent the last 8 years of my life loving you, trusting you, and this is what I get in return." "It was a mistake," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "A mistake is spilling coffee on your shirt. This was a calculated series of decisions." She looked down, unable to meet my gaze. "What happens now?" she asked. "I'm glad you asked," I said, my tone cold. "You're going to pack a bag and leave tonight." Her head snapped up. "What?" "No, Jake, we can work through this. We can go to therapy. We can—" "No," I said firmly. We're done. I've already spoken to a lawyer. The divorce papers are in that envelope, too. You'll find they're very generous. I don't want to fight. I just want you out of my life. She looked at me, desperation in her eyes. Please, Jake, don't do this. I'll do anything. I stood, my hands clenched in a fist at my sides. The time for doing anything, was before you slept with him. Now it's too late. She broke down, sobbing uncontrollably, but I felt nothing. No pity, no regret. Just a cold sense of justice. There's one more thing, I said, my voice steady. I sent a copy of that report to Jay's wife. She deserved to know the truth, too. Her head snapped up, horror etched on her face. You didn't? I did. She was very grateful, by the way, I said. Said she'd suspected something, but didn't have proof until now. Emily's sobs turned to wails. She begged, pleaded, but I had already made up my mind. I handed her a suitcase I had packed earlier and pointed to the door. As she stumbled out into the night, I felt a strange sense of peace. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. The woman I thought I knew was gone, but so was the weight of her betrayal. The next morning, I woke up to a text from Jay's wife. Thank you. I'm filing for divorce today. I smiled. Justice had been served, and I was free to start over, alone but free. And for the first time in a long time, that felt like enough.